First, the ultra-processed foods that are full of preservatives to extend shelf life, flavorings, artificial dyes. They are cheap, which is why they are consumed a lot. But they act like a bomb inside you. They're full of sugar, fat and salt and low in nutritional value, and worse, people substitute a natural food that would be healthy by these industrial formulations with several processing steps, with a lot of things synthesized in labs that cause inflammation and cancer, all of that to last longer on the shelves or to improve taste and appearance. Oh, I don't like that. Will be? Let's go. Stuffed biscuit, Cheetos-like snacks, instant noodles like ramen noodles, diet soda or not, the list is long, but there you can see that you should eat it, yes. What other foods increase belly fat and cause inflammation? You must have thought of sugar. And you got both sugar and sugar right, corn syrup and fructose, which are cheaper and considered worse than sugar. If you drink soft drinks or carton juice or eat industrialized salad dressing, ketchup or mustard, cakes, preserved fruit, jams, puddings, you are consuming it, which do a lot of damage to your health. So you have to reduce sugar and corn syrup and fructose. You know those cereal bars? Watch out. It looks healthy, but they are made with corn syrup and fructose, that is, wolf in sheep's clothing. Pasta, white rice, white bread, they are all cause a spike in blood glucose and insulin. Several studies associate this type of food to obesity, metabolic syndrome, type 2 diabetes and other inflammatory conditions. So, when you can better always use whole grain carbohydrates, whole grain bread, whole grain pasta, brown rice. Other foods that are really bad for your arteries are trans fats. These were a disaster for the health of mankind. Why trans fats? Why, at the beginning of the last century, they discovered how to make the oil look like saturated fat. Then they hydrogenated, that is, chemically altered the structure of unsaturated fats to look more like saturated fats. In 1980 they discovered an association of trans fats with heart attack, and that trans fat was worse than saturated fat because, in addition to increasing bad cholesterol, LDL, it lowered HDL, which is good cholesterol. On top of that, it worsens inflammation and is linked to diabetes and dementia. So we should avoid everything that has hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated fat on the label that can be found in margarines, snacks and processed desserts and fast foods. And finally, saturated fats. Saturated fats are those which are solid at room temperature, like coconut oil, the fat from the picanha, the whole milk with that cream on top, butter and red meat that has that white fat that we see. Saturated fat also raises cholesterol. That's why we recommend that you eat more white meat like fish and poultry and restrict red to just 2 to 3 times a week and always choosing leaner cuts. Here we talk about inflammation. What about cholesterol? Cholesterol isn't necessarily bad because your body needs it to build cell membranes and make some vitamins, such as vitamin D, hormones, and bile salts. But too much cholesterol and/or if you have inflammation, it can be a problem. The main source of cholesterol is the liver, not the diet. It produces 70 to 80% of circulating cholesterol. That's why your genetics influences that you do your blood tests to know your cholesterol level. What types of cholesterol? Mainly two. We have the LDL, which is the bad cholesterol that deposits in the arteries, and the HDL, which is the good cholesterol that it manufactures hormones like testosterone. Per this is the myth that those who take medicine for cholesterol drop testosterone. Lie. It is the good cholesterol that produces testosterone, and it is the good cholesterol that plays the role of garbage collector, which cleans the LDL cholesterol. That's why if you have a very high LDL, you're producing a lot of waste. If your HDL is high, you have a lot of garbage, which could prevent a bigger problem. Now, if your bad cholesterol is too high and you don't have enough trash, oops, will deposit. Especially if you have the inflammation I mentioned before, that we can see through a simple blood test called ultrasensitive C-reactive protein. If it is high, it increases your cardiovascular risk. You will have a lot of pixie in your arteries and will stick to the circulating cholesterol. On the other hand, if C-reactive protein is very low, even a little above normal, cholesterol will not do much harm. So that's why there are people with normal cholesterol who have a heart attack, and there are people with cholesterol tall that has no plaque. Precisely because more variables involved, CRP, lipoprotein A. Now, to say that high LDL does not increase cardiac risk is absurd. It increases, yes, it is he forms atherosclerosis.